I was reminded the other day of a story that I had nearly forgotten. The tale of the god Indra and his battle against the mighty serpent, Vritra. The Vritra had taken all of the rivers of the world hostage, causing a global drought. Only by destroying the 99 fortresses of the Vritra and slaying the beast itself was Indra able to liberate the waters. The priests would call me sacrilegious, but to me, this tale has a hidden meaning. I am facing a Vritra of my own, and that monster is the great lie that I have lived until this day. The 99 fortresses are the little lies that are still burrowed into my soul. My irrational fear of corruption, my distaste for violence, and that misplaced care for the so-called innocent. Only when I destroy these inner fortresses can I unleash the greatness within me and become a ruler whose name will live on for millennia. To do so, I must look beyond our traditional enemies. Far to the northeast lies the land of Bengal. It is here, where the sacred Ganges meets the ocean, that I will achieve my greatest triumph yet. I have announced a march on the Pala Empire that rules Bengal. General Arayan has already left at the head of a large vanguard. Together, we will bring holy water from the Ganges back to Chola lands, so that the gods may bless our realm. And if I can defeat one of the greatest empires in the known world in the process, then all the better. The journey ahead of us will be long and arduous. But take heart, men. Once the Bengali emperor lies dead in the field, you will all drink from the sacred river Ganges.
சரி, ஆயுதத்தை எடு.
The kingdom of Kalinga is the first obstacle in our path. Many of their soldiers are spread out across the countryside, so the city should be easy pickings.
The Cholas are here. Lock the gates. Abandon your posts. I mean, defend the city with your lives.
Kalinga is ours. Let us rest and bandage our wounds before we continue our march.
என்ன கட்டளை? அப்படியே பாய்ந்து தாக்கு.
It appears that King Indrarata fled as soon as he saw our forces on the horizon. He's in a small fortress in the mountains and plans to attack us from behind once we leave the city. If we kill him, we could crush what little remains of the resistance.
Rajendra's has been injured. Bring him back to camp and treat his wounds.
I hear that you have captured Kalinga, Rajendrara. I too stepped on an ant this morning, you know. But you do not hear me bragging about it.
A ship filled with resources has arrived from Tanjavur. Make sure that it reaches our
உங்கள்
army
சித்தம்
unscathed.
ஆயுதத்தை எடு.
Spare us! Kill the people in the other village over there. They have more food than we do.
சரி, முன்னேறு. உங்கள் சித்தம் சரி, பாய்ந்து தாக்கு. உங்கள் சித்தம் முன்னேறு. சரி, ஆயுதத்தை எடு. முன்னேறு. ஆயுதத்தை எடு. பாய்ந்து தாக்கு. உங்கள் சித்தம் முன்னேறு. ஆயுதத்தை எடு.
These old trebuchets may yet have a few holes in them. Let us use them to crack open Utkala's defenses. Utkala lies before us. Its thick walls and dense forests are formidable defenses. Perhaps we can find an easier way inside.
The walls of Utkala have not been breached in living memory, and they will not fall today.
Dreadful news, Emperor. The Kalinga have returned to their city and killed our garrison there.
சரி, என்ன கட்டளை?
Resources has arrived from Tanjavur. Make sure that it reaches our army unscathed.
Utkala is ours, but we cannot stay here for long. Reinforce our army and let us face the Bengali Emperor in battle.
சரி, முன்னேறு.
Some weeks ago, bandits stole a relic from our monastery. As our new ruler, we ask that you return it to us.
The wood in these machines was rotted through. I am surprised that they survived this long.
It is good to see you again, Rajendrara. Now, Mahipala has arrayed his army on the battlefield and prepares to attack. My men and I have scouted the land thoroughly, however, so we will not have to fight blindly.
We must hurry to secure our position. Prepare for battle. When this day is over, we will wash off the blood of our enemies in the sacred waters of the Ganges.
My dynasty learned not to embark on extravagant campaigns like yours long ago, Rajendrara. Now we will teach the Cholas that same lesson. Send forth the Ratas!
இந்த கணமே போகிறேன் முன்னேறு
with resources has arrived from Tanjavur. Make sure that it reaches our army unscathed.
What have you done? Only a barbarian would destroy such a work of beauty.
கட்டளை ஆயுதத்தை எடு உங்கள் சித்தம் பாய்ந்து தாக்கு
The Pala army scatters like birds frightened by a tiger's roar. Victory is ours. Despite suffering humiliation at my hands, Mahipala refuses to bend the knee. He retreats and leaves eastern Bengal open for raids. And in doing so, he saves his dynasty from annihilation. A part of me admires his staunch resistance, but that is a part of me which must die. There can be no admiration for one's enemies, no respect for those who refuse to accept their place in the world that I am creating. For now, I will leave Mahipala to pick up the pieces of his broken pride. Another, even greater predator has drawn my eye. The empire of Srivijaya has ruled the Straits of Malacca for centuries. Their central position on this vital trade route has allowed them to grow wealthy and powerful beyond imagining. And now, their tentacles reach into my domains. For years, they have forced traders to make port when they pass through their waters. The trade ships now ignore our harbors, and the Srivijayan Emperor Sangrama is taking all of the riches that once ended up in our coffers. So far, I have been too preoccupied to challenge him. But this new status quo cannot be allowed to stand. I have decided to invade Srivijaya. It will be a military operation on a scale never seen before. 1,000 ships and 1,000,000 men, crossing the ocean to deal death to this empire of middlemen. I have contended with empires before, but none of them hold a candle to the Srivijaya. Their navy dominates the eastern seas, and their fortresses are guarded by undefeated armies. For the first time in years, I doubt whether I can outmatch my opponent. But if I am to secure my legacy, I must strike hard and give them no time to prepare. This war will either be my undoing or propel me to the greatness that I have dreamed of. It is a gamble that I must make, for he who dares at all must dare it all. Thus, I go to slay my Vitra. The empire of Srivijaya lies at our feet. Let us find a suitable location to disembark and strike while the enemy is unprepared. It is high time that these pirates in royal clothing were put in their place.
Go where you command, Your Highness.
The Srivijaya have arrayed their navy in the Strait of Malacca. They will be expecting an attack from this direction. But I believe that our navy is strong enough to face them head on. The villages on Sumatra provide Srivijaya with many of its resources. If we can take control of them, we might be able to bleed the enemy dry. Our Khmer allies are occupied with fighting their old rivals. If we defeat the Tambrilinga, Surya Varman's forces will be free to aid us in our struggle.
அப்படியே செய்கிறேன். கட்டுவேன் 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 அப்படியே செய்கிறேன்.
New orders, men! Hoist the sails!
என்ன கட்டளை? கட்டுவேன். 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 அப்படியே செய்கிறேன். அப்படியே செய்கிறேன். என்ன கட்டளை? கட்டுவேன் 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 கட்டுவேன். நான் தயார். கட்டுவேன்.
உங்கள் சித்தம் பாய்ந்து தாக்கு.
என்ன கட்டளை? அப்படியே செய்கிறேன். சரி. கட்டுவேன் அப்படியே செய்கிறேன் நான் தயார் கட்டுவேன்
We have established a beachhead in enemy lands. From this fortress, we will strike out and conquer all of Srivijaya.
உங்கள் சித்தம் பாய்ந்து தாக்கு
My messenger told me that you had crossed the ocean with your entire fleet to fight me, Rajendra. I was certain that he was lying, but alas, it seems that I executed him for telling the truth. Ah, well, if this is the death that you have chosen for yourself, I will happily wield the slaying sword.
We go where you command, Your Highness.
Cholas have captured another castle. We cannot let this continue.
Another fortress falls to the Chola Empire. Srivijaya is crumbling before our very eyes.
We warned Emperor Sangrama about you, Rajendra. But the Emperor's pride made him blind to the threat that you pose. Fortunately, we prepared and mobilized when he would not. Prepare to meet your end.
ஆயுதத்தை எடு
castle. We cannot let this continue. Tambralinga lies in ruins. I am grateful for your help in this war, Rajendrara. You can count on my support against Srivijaya.
Hoist the sails! Your Highness.
Another fortress falls to the Chola Empire. Srivijaya is crumbling before our very eyes.
என்ன கட்டளை இந்த கணமே போகிறேன் பாய்ந்து தாக்கு
Hoist the sails! We go where you command, Your Highness.
சரி அப்படியே முன்னேறு
New orders, men! Hoist the sails!
Is to fall. At least we defended her to the very end.
My empire lies broken, and my cities drown in blood and tears. Please, Your Highness, no more. I beg that you accept our surrender.
Such is the fate of all who oppose Rajendra's Chola. The fires of Srivijaya still raged as we celebrated our victory in the Imperial Palace. Emperor Sangrama and his officials were invited to publicly swear fealty to me. To a man, they all proclaimed their love for their new ruler. Love indeed, for all hatred had been beaten out of them. For the first time in decades, I felt perfectly calm. I knew then that my transformation was complete. I had proven my father right and built an empire that spans across oceans. I had unleashed the greatness within me and overcome all of my childish delusions. In doing so, I had learned one great truth, that there is no such thing as corruption. It is only what the weak call the will of the strong, and I am no longer weak. The child within me is dying. The man has taken its place. The serpent writhes and withers away, slain by the hero's hand, and the captive waters rush out into the world once more. So ends the tale of Indra and the Vritra, and so ends the tale of Rajendra Chola.